First Person History. My name is Colton, and here are some myths that you might actually still believe about the American Revolution. Let's get to it. Myth number 1. The Boston Tea Party was disorganized. For some reason, a lot of people, both major history buffs and amateurs, seem to think that the Boston Tea Party was some kind of disorganized riot that got completely out of hand. I hate to break it to you, but this isn't true in the slightest. In reality, the Boston Tea Party was ridiculously well plotted and planned out. The Sons of Liberty, led by the one and only Paul Revere and Samuel Adams, famously dressed up as Indians and raided multiple vessels of the British West Indies fleet, carrying literal tons of tea crates. I honestly have no idea where the idea of it being disorganized and chaotic came from, but I know quite a few people who thought this was actually true, so now I'm really curious. Let me know in the comments if you know where this fear came from, because I'd really like to know. Myth number 2, muskets are inaccurate. Now, this is a problem with looking back upon history from a modern standpoint. Yes, when you compare a smoothbore Brown Bess to a modern, an AK-47, then yeah, obviously the AK-47 is going to do better. I mean, that thing has hundreds of years of history and research behind it, while the musket had 100, if that. But when you think about it from a standpoint of actually being shot at, the Brown Bess is still one heck of a gun. From what I've found, the Brown Bess is accurate to up to easily 160 yards, with a max range being up to 1,200 yards. That's absolutely incredible, considering you can only get off 3 or 4 shots a minute. Personally, I'd say that the thought process that muskets are inaccurate is utterly ridiculous. Myth number 3. The Declaration of Independence was signed on July 4th, 1776. Now yes, I know that we as Americans celebrate Independence Day on July 4th, and this has led to the majorly inaccurate idea that the Declaration was actually signed on July 4th. That's what we're all told in elementary school when we were learning about George Washington beating the evil British and the Declaration of Independence being signed and everyone living happily ever after. As a British reenactor, I completely disagree with the idea that the British were evil and that Washington was perfect, because believe me, he was not! But anyway, the Declaration was actually signed on August 2nd, 1776, a full month after July 4th, 1776. How could this have happened? Well, it's actually just a common misunderstanding. Well, the Declaration wasn't signed on July 4th, it was adopted on July 4th. It had to be adopted before it was signed, so that's how the 1 month difference occurred. Annoying, isn't it? Let me know in the comments if you actually knew this, or if you went your whole life up until now thinking the Declaration was signed on July 4th. Myth number 4. Paul Revere didn't actually yell, "The British are coming! The British are coming!" Rather, he may have actually yelled, "The regulars are coming out! The regulars are coming out!" if he actually yelled anything at all. It is possible that he didn't yell anything, but rather rode up to the door of each house and knocked to signal each Minuteman. It wouldn't have made sense for him to yell that the British were coming, as the vast majority of the colonists of the time still considered themselves to be British. That would have just caused chaos and mayhem, which is the last thing anyone needed at the moment. And finally, myth number 5. The taxes imposed by Parliament were horrible and unpayable. Oh boy. Now, before someone throws their computer down and starts singing Yankee Doodle at the top of their lungs, let me explain, please. Notice that I haven't been wearing my British uniform this whole time. There's a reason for that. I don't want to get tarred and feathered. While many Americans have been told to believe that the British Parliament imposed horrid taxes and oppressed us into submission to the Crown, almost none of this is true. In fact, for years leading up to the Revolution, the vast majority of colonists were actually supportive of the Crown, but there had been a few stitches of unrest that had been sewn into the fabric of liberty, as I'll call it. And when the King and Parliament decided to start taxing the American colonists, the Tailors of Liberty, man, I need to find another analogy, used that as an excuse to put their muskets to good use. Think about it this way. During the time of the Stamp Act, the average tax was a penny per sheet of newspaper, and we'll keep that constant throughout this analogy. Say you buy a newspaper per week, that means a penny of tax per week. We'll convert that to modern American dollars, and we'll get 44 cents of tax. For a whole newspaper. That's better than the taxes of today. What gives? And that, my friends, proves my point. If you ungrateful rebels had just paid your bloody 1 penny, everything would have been fine. Good grief! Alright, That's all for my 5 myths about the American Revolution that you no longer believe. Let me know in the comments if you have an idea for another historical video. Before you go, may I ask you to click that subscribe button if it's not too much trouble. Helps me out a lot, and it allows you to get notifications every time I post a new historical video. It's a win-win. Also, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.